Hi everyone, good day. So our topic for today is all about two-sided limit. So what is two-sided limit? So based on the theorem, a limit of f of x is equal L, and as x approaches a, exists and equals L if and only if the limit of f of x is equal to L as x approaches a from the left, and the limit of f of x is equal to L as x approaches a from the right. Both exist and equal L. So this will only happen, right? So this will only happen if the limit from the left of a exists and from the right of a exists, and they must be equal to L. Okay, so try to consider this graph, class. So let's say we have this kind of graph. So let's call this as y is equal to f of x. And considering that we have here a, right? And if you will check if the limit exists at a in this given graph, what you need to do is based on the theorem. So of course, this corresponds to the a here, right? So in that case, what you need to do for you to know if the limit exists is you just need to check on how the graph behave closer and closer to A from the left and from the right. So it means that you need to check this, the behavior from the left of A and from the right of A as well. So as you can see here, there's exactly 1L that they are approaching, right? So they are approaching the same value of L here. So it means that in this given graph or in this given function at A, we can say that the limit of the function exists at A. Since the limit from the left exists, the limit from the right exists as well, and they are both equal to L. Okay, so that's how we do it if we have a graph. So you just need to observe. But what if we have this now? So for example, we have the limit of, or we're asked for the limit of square root of x as x approaches to 0, and we're asked to know whether the limit exists in this given function. So in that case, we can actually use the two-sided limit or the theorem that I've discussed. So in that case, we're asked here if the limit of square root of x as x approaches to 0 exists. So the first condition that you need to do is, of course, you must take the limit of square root of x as x approaches from the left of 0. So in that case, class, we all know that if we will try to graph square root of x, so what will happen? So using the Desmos, you will see that this is basically the graph of square root of x, right? So this is y is equal to square root of x. And as you observe, class, if you will check letter A, if the limit of the function exists as x approaches 0 from the left, so in that case, you will observe that there's no graph on the left side of x, right? So in this case, there's no graph, or there's no graph as you will observe this, or there's no behavior of a graph that can be seen on this side. So in that case, we can now say that this is the limit does not exist from the left of 0. While if we will take a look now on the limit of the function as x approaches 0 from the right, you will see, class, as you observe, there is a value where the function um that the function will have, wherein that's the origin, or that's basically 0. So it means that if you will try to evaluate this using this graph, you just need to substitute 0, right? So this will become the square root of 0. So this will become equal to, of course, 0. So, sir, again, how did you know that this letter A is DNE? So just try to imagine this class. If you will try to plug in a negative radicand over here, what will happen to the value? It will become an imaginary number, right? Because the square root of a negative number will become an imaginary number. So in that case, we can now say, if we're asked if the limit exists on a given function square root of x as x approaches 0 will be, we can say that the limit does not exist. Because again, A must exist, B must exist, and they must be equal to the same value, right? So in this case, this must be DNE, right? Okay, so sir, what if we already considered letter A as DNE? Do we need to prove the second um theorem? So you don't need to prove it class, because once it becomes DNE, automatic the limit of the given function becomes DNE, right? So this will become DNE right away once one of the condition fades. Okay, so I hope we're all clear with this. Okay, let's try this example. So what if we have the limit of square root of x minus 4 as x approaches 4 from the left? So again, you will notice, class, that if you will take the limit of square root of x minus 4 as x approaches 4 from the left, what will happen? So as we go closer and closer to 4 from the left, what will happen to this? So this will become what? This will become DNE. Because as you can see here, you will notice that this will lead to a negative radicand, right? So this will become negative if you will try to observe this graph, right? Because if this is, let's say, 3.5, if x is 3.5, because that's the left side of 4, so this will become negative 0.5, and this will become, of course, an imaginary number. So it means that from the left of 4, this will become DNE. So I hope you get the point in here. Okay, so let's proceed with the next one. So for example, we're asked to get the limit of square root of x minus 2 over square root of x squared minus 4 as x approaches 2 from the right. So in that case, what do you need to do? So what we need to do, class, is, of course, we can substitute it directly. So what will happen to this is this will become, of course, 0 over 0. And this will become an indeterminate form. Indeterminate in form. Okay, so whenever we encounter this, what do we do? Actually, if we want to know if the limit exists, what we can do is maybe we can try to resort with factoring. No, maybe we can as you can see on the denominator, this can be factored out. X squared minus 4 is difference of square. So in that case, what we can do here is maybe we can try to manipulate the given function. So this will become, right? This will become, so if you will try to factor this out, this will lead to x minus 2 and x plus 2 as x approaches 2 from the right. Then you will see now, class, that if you will try to simplify this one, so applying the exponent, right? So this can be written as the limit square root of x minus 2 over, that's x minus 2 times x plus 2. So this whole thing can be written as this. You can just write as the square root outside the function. So in that case, you will see that this can be canceled out. So in that case, if you will try to evaluate this now by substituting 2, so this will lead to that's 1 over 2 plus 2. So this will lead to 1 over 4. So it means that the limit exists as we have the square root of x minus 2 over x squared minus 4 as x approaches 2 from the right. This exists and the value is 1 over 4. Okay, so I hope we're all clear with this now. Okay, next. What if I tried to change the approaching value? What if I make it from the left of 2? So in that case, what will happen to this is if you will try to, or if you will try to observe, class, as we go along, no, as you observe this, right? So if this is somehow closer and closer to 2 from the left of 2, so it means 1, 0, -1, what will happen to the radical that we have on the numerator? So it becomes imaginary, right? As you observe. So in that case, since this becomes imaginary, automatic, we can now say that this will lead to the limit does not exist. Because the numerator will lead to imaginary, though the denominator might not lead to um um this might lead to imaginary as well, because if you will substitute -1, that's -1 squared, that's 1 minus 4, so this will become imaginary as well. So you have an imaginary over an imaginary number, so this will become DNE. So I hope you understand it. Okay, so let's try to have this. So what if we have a piecewise function? So how are we going to solve this now? Or how are we going to know if the limit exists in a given function at x is equal to 2? Okay, so here's the thing that you need to check. So again, we'll try to write this. The limit of f of x as x approaches 2. So this is the thing that we want to know. So of course, we need to check if the two-sided limit exists and if they are both equal to L. No? So in that case, we'll try to get now the limit of from the left first. So in that case, we'll just get this from the left of 2. So in that case, we'll have the limit as x approaches from the left of 2. So in that case, we will use this function because again, try to recall that if we have a piecewise function, the corresponding function to that inequality will be used. Then you just need to solve it. So this will become x squared minus 4. So evaluating the limit, what will happen? So you just need to substitute it directly. So of course, this will lead to 0 because that's 2 squared minus, that's 2 squared minus 4. So this will lead to 0. Okay, so And it means that the limit from the left of 2 exists, which is 0, then of course we need to check as well if the limit from the right of 2 exists as well. So in that case, we'll use now x approaches 2 from the right. So in that case, we'll use, of course, this corresponding function. That's 4 minus x squared. So in that case, class, what we need to do is we just need to substitute it directly. So by substituting, this will lead to that's 4 minus that's 2 squared as well. So this will lead to 0. So in that case, the limit from the left of 2 exists, which is 0, and the limit from the right of 2 exists as well, which is 0. So in that case, since they are both equal, right? So since the limit of f of x as x approaches 2 to the left is just equal to the limit of the function as x approaches 2 from the right exists, and they are both equal to 0. So it means that the limit is simply as 0. So it means that the limit of f of x exists, and the value of the limit is just equal to 0. Okay, how about this one? So again, how are we going to prove this using the two-sided limit? So again, you just need to write the function, the limit of f of x as x approaches, of course, 2. So this is the thing that we want to know, if this exists or not, right? So in that case, we just need to check it first from the left side limit. So that's the limit of course, this corresponds to the left of 2. So in that case, that's how we denote it. Then we'll use the function, the corresponding function to it. So in that case, what we will do is we will try to evaluate the limit by substituting directly the 2. So in that case, this will lead to 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 6. So this will become 4 minus 8 plus 6. So in that case, this will lead to, of course, 2. Then you need to, so again, the limit of the function from the left of 2 exists, and which is equal to 2, then you just need to check as well the right side limit. So for the right side limit, of course, we'll use this. So x approaches from the right of 2. We'll use the function negative x squared plus 4x minus 2. So in that case, what we will do is we'll substitute it directly. So this will become negative 2 squared plus 4 times times 2 minus 2. So this will lead to, that's negative 4. This is 8. Then this is minus 2. So this will lead to, that's simply as 2. So in that case, as you can see here, the left side limit exists, the right side limit exists. Then we can now say that the limit of this function exists at x is equal to 2. Since they are both equal to 2, right? So since the limit of f of x as x approaches from the left of 2 is just equal to the limit of f of x as x approaches 2 to the right. So in that case, this is simply as 2. Okay, so I hope you learned something from me today. And that's the end of my discussion. Thank you.